Good morning, everybody. How is it going?
Good morning, everybody. How is it going?
Good morning. Got the audio. All right, now that's muted. How's everybody doing? It is 8:29, 9:29 Eastern Time. Market is about to open here in 23, 22, 21 seconds. So welcome to all the YouTubers out there. Welcome to the Patreon streamers joining the channel. Thanks for taking the time out of the day to watch with us, make a little money, learn a little something along the way. Hopefully we can get a little something going today. I am going to stick with the August 27th calls contracts today. I know that's a little shorter of a DTE, but I don't know. I just want to see if I can capture some volatility. So we'll see what happens. There's the market open, and we are off to the races. Big green candle right out of the gate. Didn't even have any chance to snap in there at 448.17. We're now up to 448.31, now 26. FAANG is, I don't know, kind of flat, but green. Not really too crazy, about 0.25% green. 0.16 Telsa red. Netflix is 0.28 red. SPY is just about flat, 19 cents. Qs are significant little green candle there. Want some decent volume here. Popping up 375.12 is pre-market highs. NASDAQ. Let's take a look at the NASDAQ, baby. Bouncing off this 15,333 low. That happened earlier this morning, about 2 hours ago. Futures rejecting up here. SPY is doing the same thing, coming back down. Watch this POC, and we're still stuck to this upper 447, lower 448 level. We kind of treaded there all day yesterday, and here we are again today. So good stuff. Yeah, thanks, Steve. Appreciate that. Yeah, I do not anticipate anything different from yesterday. I would, it's probably going to be more of the same. Maybe a slightly bigger chop range, but maybe slightly tighter. But I don't expect too much different, especially going into Jackson Hole. A lot of anticipation. I know people have been talking about Jackson Hole for a while now, so I think people are ready to get it going. Yes, I would, Justin. In fact, if I do see more of the same, I will open up a strangle. Morning, Ace. How you doing, buddy? Where is that link for Jackson Hole? I think, let me see if I can find that. I'll post that link in YouTube so y'all can read about it. It's good stuff. Anyway, yeah. Yeah, basically I said there. It's just another J-Pal speech. It's going to be talking about the state of the economy here. So something we'd be able to look out for. Hold on, I'm reading something. What is that? All right, so big green red candle here. We had a significant green candle there, and that just got sold off, and this volume candle switched to red. There it is. Thank you. Qs are still green. Got a little wick there, but SPY is drilling down at the moment. We'll see what happens with that. All right, the Jackson Hole Symposium. Jackson Hole Symposium. An annual gathering held in Jackson Hole, Wyoming, where J. Powell, the Fed's chair, will speak on Friday and is expected to reveal details about how and when the bank plans to begin winding down its bond buying program, one of the several policies it created to reduce the economic impact of the pandemic. I would anticipate some volatility, either going into or directly during or after the announcements and the minutes coming out of that, because they're talking about the winding down of its bond buying program, which is what the fuel is. You take away the fuel, the fire burns out. You add more fuel, the fire rages, baby. So I guarantee you he is going to be on his best behavior, and he's going to pick and choose his words very carefully, as he always does. J. Powell knows that he holds the state of his economy between his two lips. And if he lets those things fly a little too liberally, then things will fly. So he'll be on his best behavior, but I do still anticipate some volatility. Probably maybe a little selling going into it, because people are going to be going risk off. Because if he comes out and says anything other than the status quo, this thing will drill. Do you sell credit spreads, or do you only buy calls? I do sell some spreads every now and then, Rendo. I do. Do you see any indications of new record state? No, I don't. I would be, well, I don't know. We are so close to all-time highs. You know, I wouldn't be surprised if we popped above here and made new highs. I don't think we'll blow past all-time highs. I'll say that. But popping up here, that's not too big of a stretch of imagination. But, you know, I don't see anything crazy happening. You know, that's the thing. So yesterday I realized it wasn't volatile enough for options. Is that why you use the session ranges indicator? The session ranges indicator is a tool using to identify pivot points. And it lets you identify, is there enough buying pressure to make this go trending up? Is it enough selling pressure to make it go trend down? Or is it just identifying that there's an oscillation of buyers and sellers that sticks this in a certain range? That's all that's used for. Good questions, good questions. So be on the ready for going into the Jackson Hole meeting. This is the first, you know, usually when J. Powell has an FOMC, or if he comes on and has a press conference, you know, it's always about something that'll be slightly different. He always talk about inflation, or everyone's waiting to hear him say inflation, talk about that stuff, or the state of the economy, or the new variant and how he expects that to come out. But this is particularly centered around the bond tapering, which is a very, very, very high profile item. It's something that everyone talks about. Everyone who's even closely affiliated in trading is wondering and talking about the federal asset purchase tapering. And when is that actually going to happen? They've been talking about, hey, it's not going to happen until late 2023. Well, now we're talking about the MSB, or the MBS is coming in November. And if the MBS is coming in November, you can expect the housing market to start to flatten out, to start to plateau. So it's like, when is all this stuff starting to come into play? And that is what we really need to follow. So this market, I don't usually have too high confidence that the J. Powell's recent ones, back in the springtime, J. Powell brought a lot of volatility to the market. During the summertime, for the most part, they're nothing sandwiches. But this one should bring some volatility into the play. Having said that, I guarantee you, if there's anything significant to be said, the hedge funds and market makers already know about it prior to us. So, yeah. It is Friday at 9 a.m. or 9 a.m. Central, 10 a.m. Eastern. Friday. There's a whole plethora of data being released, but that one is Friday at 9 a.m. Central, 10 a.m. Eastern. Good morning, Ethan. How you doing? All right, so SPY is flat. Qs are, holy crap, beast mode. Diminishing volume, but spiking. XLF is red. What are the bonds doing? Still trading flat. A little bit of red downward here, but for the most part flat. We'll see how this continues to fly. NASDAQ is just beast mode here. XLB is down. XLE, XLV. So all the X's are down with the exception of, where'd my XLK go? My XLK disappeared. I need to add that to my watch list. All right, so VIX is still down here, 17, 16, and I expect the congregation here to the upper 16s, lower 17s. SPY is double green. All right, so SPY bounced off with this red candle and now is kind of churning up here, 448, 814. Current range is 447.79 to 448.32, which is approximately a 50-cent range. So nice and tight some more this morning, so far this morning. Do I count post highs and lows into analysis? Depends which analysis. I do take into account pre-market sentiment. I do not calculate that into my session ranges, nor my pivot points. However, I will saying that if we break pre-market highs and lows as well as the trading session highs and lows, that is a sentiment indicator. So in this particular case, we've got a pre-market low of 447.50. If for some reason in the next 10 minutes we pop lows, kind of fizzle out, pop lows again, and then we pop pre-market lows. So if we continually start popping session lows and then the pre-market lows, that is a bearish indicator, and I'll take that into consideration and start looking and taking puts. Second question, do you chart solely off a trading view and only leave active trader or something comparable, Alvin, to get in and out of options quick? I have a hard time timing the trading view charts as well as I only chart on trading view. So what I do, what my setup is, and this is my next video, so be on the lookout. I have this chart up, the trading view chart. On my right screen, I've just got the options chain, no chart. So the only chart I actually look at is the trading view chart. And then I've got my E-Trade up to the right screen with the options chain, which I actually execute the order. So the only charting analysis I'm doing is here. What you see is on trading view. This is a cool channel. First time here. I like how the focus on SPY, Qs, and VIX instead of all the stupid stuff like AMC and GME. Yeah, buddy. Yeah, buddy. That's what I do. Easy peasy. Keep it simple. Look at the ETFs. I guarantee you there's more successful and rich people out there trading just ETFs than there are AMC, GME, and meme stocks. Rich people, smart money goes, and when I mean rich people, I mean three digits in the millions. Like rich people trade ETFs. They don't trade meme stocks. So even for scalping, trade view works just well. Absolutely, yeah, absolutely. You just have to adjust your time frame. If you're a scalper and you're looking for cent movements, you stick with the 1 and 3 minute. If you're more of a day trader like myself, the 3, 5 minute, 15 minute. You know, if you want to play 0 DTEs, then you look at the 1 minute, and you know you scalp like very, very small percentage point moves. So this is a tool at which you can manipulate to fit your thesis, to fit your strategy. Use the shorter time frames for scalps. Use the longer time frames for longer trades. You remind me of Harvey Specter from Suits. I don't know who that is, but thank you. I'll take that as a compliment, I think. TLT and SPY, both big red candles. SPY doesn't have a big red, but it has a red. Let's look at the bonds. Yep, the bond. There is a red candle on the bonds. So I see some very bullish action with the NASDAQ. I see some money flowing out of the bonds here. Big red candle, and XLF is spiking up. I could anticipate some increase in SPY based on this action. If we have this rotation into the financial sector, especially with the NASDAQ being up, I'll anticipate some green here in SPY. Did the time frame change for the PM range? I watched a video and it said 1230 to 105, but I thought I heard you say, yeah. So 1230 to 105 is central, and the 130 to 205 is eastern. So yeah, those are the same thing. I don't know if I clarified that well enough, but yeah, it's 130 to 205 eastern time is the afternoon range. Good question. Good question. What's up, Andy? How you doing, buddy? So yeah. 197 people watching, 199, now 200. Welcome. Thanks for spending the day with us. I know there's not too much going on at the moment. but I'll answer as many questions as I can and help you all as best as I can. Do I have a code for TradingView? I don't have a code, but I have a link. I can post that for you. Let me get that for you. I think you can get up to $30 off if you use this link. Copy link. There you go. Do you teach how to trade options, especially ETFs, as you said? I'm new here. Yes, I do, Joel. Yes, I do. Hey, red candles. All right, so NASDAQ rolling over. XLF is trying to climb, but it got wick there. VIX is bouncing again off this lower 17 range. So it likes this lower 17 congregation. What is a right side indicator called? This right here is a histogram called the volume price indicator. This tells you volume at price, not to be too simplistic there, at volume at price. So all these little shelves here you see are called nodes. And all these are the levels of distribution of volume at a particular price on a particular time frame. So here you've got your volume candles. This tells you volume at a time. So in this candle, this is a 3-minute chart. So this 3-minute candle has this amount of volume, this amount of volume, this amount of volume. But this doesn't tell you at what price the volume is. This tells you the volume at price. So here at 448.30, you can kind of see the price here. 448.30, you had this much volume. At here, 447.96, you've got this much volume. And it tells you where the buyers and sellers like to put their orders. It identifies the market sentiment of volume and price. Should we buy spot puts now? That is up to you. That is up to you. So that price is stuck right there in the middle. Qs are rounding over. VIX is falling down. And XLF is climbing. So we'll see what happens here with NASDAQ as it continues to turn red and SPY goes sideways. What are you looking at? What will trigger your entry? I'm really watching the volume here. And I know that, yesterday morning, on pre-market yesterday morning, I indicated a level of 448.10 for a resistance, and it's staying true to that. It's kind of sticking right on there. The past 2 days, yes, we kind of oscillated a little above and below that, but we're sticking right on there, and there's not really too much volatility to get away from that. So unless I see some volume come in and start to swing this one way or the other, that's what I'm looking for basically, is volume to bring this up or down. But XLF right now is starting to climb, so we do have this rotation out of the bonds into the financial sector here, as the material sector is starting to get a bounce here. The energy sector is starting to climb. NASDAQ's rolling over. So yeah, there's zero volume for sure, Isaac. For the histogram on the right, do the volume areas act like a gap that needs to be filled? Nope. So all this tells you is where there is support and resistance levels. You use this to identify support and resistances. So if here you've got all this volume, this POC, you can see it's staying true because this is a 3-minute chart and it's time frame dependent. It does change on different time frames. But you see on this 3-minute chart, you've got all this volume that's supportive. And this tells you where there's a lot of buyers and sellers. And that indicates that there's going to be a support level there. Besides bid and ask and delta, what columns are you paying attention to in the options chain? I look at open interest, volume, delta, implied volatility. Those are for day trades. If I start looking into long-term stuff, I'll start looking into the other stuff like gamma, vega, and all that other stuff. But in terms of day trades, those three you mentioned and the other ones. How do you get that volume indicator? Well, I don't know about other platforms, but on TradingView, if you click on indicators and you go down to, you put in VP, that's what I just do, put in VP. KV4 Coins is the author of the one I use right here. You click on that and it brings it up. I do have a YouTube video on that, so if you want to take a look at that, yeah, just head out to my educational channel, my playlist, and show it and click on that, and I've got that in there. In fact, I'll go get the link for you and click it in there. There you go. There's a link to the video on how to use that indicator. W Dog forgot to turn your speakers. Crazy. KV4 Coins. KV4 Coins. You're welcome. Do you still have to have premium trading videos of on profile? I don't know. I think you can still use it as long as you stay under, I think the free account, the free trading view is 3 indicators, I believe. So as long as you do that, I think you can still use it. Trading with just 3 indicators is difficult, but you can do it. Where to find you on Tuesdays and Thursdays? Tuesdays and Thursdays, I am in the Patreon stream and Discord. Monday, Wednesday, Fridays, I'm here with you on YouTube. Tuesdays and Thursdays, if you actually join the Discord and you sign up for the Patreon account, you can jump on the voice stream of Patreon stream, and that's where I do my Tuesdays and Thursday streams. Got a good video on stop losses and risk management? Not yet, I don't. Not yet. Yeah, please don't go in on meme stocks. Please don't go in on meme stocks. If you want to capture some of the volatility of meme stocks, that's fine. I have no qualm with that. Just please do it smart and do it appropriately with appropriate position sizes. YOLOing in meme stocks is terrible. Yeah, Sean, I can do that. I've been trying to research these symbols on your watch list in relation to SPY. Haven't had much success. Can you please do a video on that? Yeah, I can do that. Here, I'll do a watch list breakdown. That's a good idea. I like it. Here, I've got a video idea list here that people throw out good videos. Let's see. I made 1,000% on my GME calls yesterday. It was terrible. Yeah, it's awful. God, 1,000% is terrible. Yep, you got to get out of there. You got to get out of there for sure. Why do you focus on the financial sector more so than other sectors represented SPY? I don't necessarily. I mean, I do give weight to all of them. I do. XLF, I monitor for rotation. When you have bonds rotating in and out of XLF, the financial sector, that's where you can see movement of money. So when I see a big sell-off in XLF, big increase in bonds, I kind of see that rotation of the money. Do you play cover calls? Are you confident enough to just play a call based on your technical analysis? I do long calls, long puts. So, and in terms of selling, it's all, everything's covered. So, but yeah, I just do long calls, long puts when in terms of my day trading. I'll see if there's a good one. If not, I'll make one of my own, Michael. I'll let you know. Yeah, what Jason's saying, yeah, that volume price analysis book. That is my number one book that I would recommend if you want to learn how to trade based on volume. Is that book right there? It'll teach you how to identify supports, resistances, and then it really breaks down from an elementary perspective how the market works. Because people thinks, they tend to overcomplicate this market, and it's really not that complicated. It looks complicated, it is, but they want you to think it's complicated. Thanks, Michael. Appreciate it. Yeah, great book. Great book. Volume Price Analysis, The Complete Guide to Volume Price Analysis by Anna Kohling. That is my number one book. Number one technical indicator book. If you want to learn how to read volume, if you want to learn how to trade the charts, trade the volume where the hedge funds and market makers are putting their items to chart the price of the market, that is the indicator to use. Number two book, I got a lot of them. I've got psychology books, I've got trading books, you name it, I've got it. And it's every book I read has intention. I don't like reading fiction, so everything I read is sharpening my mind. Wasn't one of my favorites, but it was a good book, Zenko. Highly recommend Jocko's books and David Goggins' book, Can't Hurt Me, Extreme Ownership. I know they're not trading books, but they are fantastic in psychology and taking ownership. So, and from the trader's perspective, you have to take ownership. If you blame this on market makers or algos or anything else, which is a very common thing, could you please post your suggested reading list? Yes, I will. Absolutely, I will. I was studying volume profile last night. YouTube is invaluable. It is. It is. Yeah. Anna Kohling, Ben. Anna Kohling. Volume price analysis. So this thing is still stuck 448.06. I've heard of that book. I haven't read that, More Cowbell, and I won't read the title. But yeah, I've heard of that. I just haven't read it. What's your take on using Heiken Ashi candlestick charts? I've never used them myself, so I don't really have an opinion on them. I've been curious to kind of dig in and read about them because I see a lot of people talk about them. I've just never used them myself. All right, VIX tanking down to 1703, coming down. That's a big old rollover here. Qs are green. XLF is still spiking. We should see some bullish action here on the SPY. And for those new to the channel, yeah, if you are looking for a good budgeting tool, I finally posted my customized personal budgeting tool. in Excel. Yes, it's not an app, it's an Excel sheet, but it's a very good all-encompassing Excel sheet. I like using Excel because I can manipulate it, change it, and customize it. It's all linking. All you got to do is input your transactions, and it flows everything out. So if that's something you're curious about, let me know, and I can send you a link to sign up to get that. That went live yesterday, so it's new, hot off the press. Do we have a fun name if the high and low candle is set on the first candle? I don't know what you mean. Yeah, potentially. This green candle keeps getting wicked out, and we keep seeing the red candle here in the NASDAQ, so that's why I'm not really slinging big into calls right now. And I've been playing pretty conservative the past week and a half, just because of the way the market's been playing. When comparing volume and open interest, how do you know which option to pick? I decide which with delta. Once volume is there and delta is there, in terms of picking which day trade I'm going to take that particular day, I use delta and DTEs and premiums to really look at. Now, when I'm starting to form strategy, when I'm starting to look at the option chain, I'm really looking at open interest. Open interest and volume are two big ones that I'm looking at to do the analysis of the market, because the market, the options chain, the options flow data will tell you a lot. It'll tell you what the sentiment of the market is and what people think it's going to do. The sheet is for the Patreon subscribers. The personal budgeting tool. Any tips on holding winning trades? Yeah, I did a good video about that. Does a budgeting tool adjust for cost basis during wash sale transactions? It's not a. You're talking about the. What you're talking about is the tracker, the trade tracker. That's different. And no, it doesn't. Yeah. So winning trades, it all based on the volume, the price action. If I have a trade and it's up 20%, hold on a second. Man, that thing gapped up. Interesting pop. Interesting pop. So yeah, NASDAQ started to roll over here. XLF is spiking. So big old rotation into the financial sector, which is pushing up SPY big time, and immediately got sold off here at 448.37. Yeah, so winning trades. It all based on the volume and price action here. 20%. Usually I tell you, like my strategy is I love to take 10 to 50% profits all day long. However, that doesn't mean I'm going to cut the legs out off of a big runner just because I'm at 20%. I'll look at the volume, and I'll look at the price action. If that is commensurate with a run, I'll let it go. If you want to take risk off the table, you can scale out. At 20%, sell 50% of your position and then let the other 50% run. That way you take some profits, you guarantee profit. So there's a couple of different strategies, but it's all about volume. SPY is starting to beast mode right now as the Qs and the NASDAQ continue to roll because VIX is just completely falling off a cliff. 1693 now, and we are at the first pivot. XLF is going up. I'm going to go with the 450s and 447s for the watch list here. So there is the morning range sets in 3 minutes. We're currently at 448.41 to 447.79, which is still shy of $1. It's still a tight range here. You're welcome, Steven. Thanks for being here, buddy. I take 2 to 3 day, or I'm sorry, anywhere from normally from 4 to 5 day, 3 day, 7 day, somewhere in that DTE. Today I'm doing 2 day, a little bit shorter, just so I can capture volatility on some moves because things are pretty tight right now. And see here, we popped up hard and now we're just selling off, which means that there's not really any huge sentiment into this day yet. XLF is big green with the red candle up here. SPY is coming back into the range now, smack dab in the middle. And this range continues to play tight. So, continues to play tight. 447.79, 448.41. That is a 21 plus 41. That's a 62-cent range. Yep, the sentiment is definitely bullish so far. We just want to make sure that we have price action that's indicative of continue to go up. Right now at 448.31. No open positions yet. No open positions yet. So VIX is still falling 1692. If it just popped the pivots, it continues to fall. It could get free fall. It could start drilling. We'll see what the VIX does there. SPY is up at the top of the range again. Now we're back inside the range, coming back down. We popped above it, immediately sold off, and came back down in the middle. FAANG is starting to look a little red. Netflix sold off, a little green coming back up. Amazon, same thing. Apple, same thing. Facebook, beast mode though. So aside from Facebook, everything is starting to look a little bit red. Do you look at the volume of a specific strike to decide? If an open interest is high on a specific call, go for that. I do look at volume as well because I want to have liquidity. I don't want to choose a contract that's got no liquidity. I want to get in and out as fast as I want to. Yep. SPY, I anticipate a chop in a range. Look at the Qs start to roll over pretty hard. VIX is still falling here though. All the other sectors appear to have some sort of rebound except V's, which has got a little green there. XLF is still up. If everyone's curious about the book, Volume Price Analysis, I just posted the link to the Amazon in the Patreon general chat. I do not get any money for that. I'm just posting that for your essay. I don't have any affiliate links to that book. Just want y'all to have some good reading. Yep, I agree, Vinny. Q's breaking down. Q's are breaking down. Futures are rolling over. Yeah, she does. She does do YouTube videos. At what point would you start considering puts? If I see an overall sentiment change here, I'll start considering puts here. I know SPY right now is hopping up here at the top of the range. If I see a breakdown and play the ranges, if I start to see a good range play here, I'll consider scalping puts and calls. The VIX right now is at a pivot point, so we could bounce and we could fall, and that will drive my decision as well. What time frame do I use? I use the 3 and the 5. 3 and the 5. I got to step off here. I'll be back in about 3 to 5 minutes. All right, I'm back. I'm back. Sorry, I had to take a voicemail from the school nurse. Apparently, I'm gonna have to go get my kids here, or at least one of them, shortly. So I will have to hop off here shorter than normal. But I'll try to once I get her home and get her acclimated. I'll hop back on here for an afternoon session as well. So no big deal. Yeah, she's good. The school's taking precautions. She's got a cough, so she's got no fever. But yeah. All right, 448.34 on SPY. Nasdaq is bouncing a little bit after this big red downside, and VIX is popping below. Now it's 1689. SPY still climbing 448.35. No, I don't think so. The vid. No. Thank you. Appreciate that. XLF is just beast mode, man, all day. All right, so SPY is up 448.39. So the morning ranges are set. Yes, so someone did post the ranges there. Ace, the up from 448.42 to 447.79. So that morning range is when we start to look at how is this price action going to change. You know, is it going to bounce off and come back down? We'll have a nice little range day, which we don't have too often anymore. And then we're just going to pop through and go beast. So this one yesterday, it went above, came back into the range, didn't quite all make it down. It was good to play though, but right now we're still hovering at this 440.50 level. We still can't break this little range from yesterday. Do you always make a trade every day? Do you have your criteria you're looking at? So it depends. It depends on market conditions. I know back in June, July, I was, sometimes 6, 7 trades a day, sometimes 2 trades. The past 2 weeks, I've been playing pretty conservative. So only 3 or 4 trades in like a week. So I'm playing pretty conservative, not taking too many trades yet. I know with the Jacksonville come up, it's going to bring some volatility. So our time will come. But yeah, it depends. It all depends. Sometimes no trades, sometimes a lot. All right, triple green candles coming up top of the range. So NASDAQ starting to turn and bring SPY with it. So right back. So we popped above again. It came back down 448.38. Do you speak on tax in the Patreon? No, I don't. I don't. Just because that's too sensitive of an item. I will just say, find you a good CPA. Don't use H&R Block. Don't use, TurboTax. Find you a good CPA that's well versed in investing to set you up. That's what I do. Green candles on the VIX down to 1686. Not yet, not yet. This range is still tight. With playing at the top here, we'll see how this thing tries to fluctuate after reaching the top of this range. All right. Well, I'm going to run and pick up this kiddo, get her home, get her in bed and cuddly, and I will be back on this afternoon to make up for it. So, hate to jump off early, but yeah, I will jump back on here once I get her home and situated, and we'll do a little more trading. So, hopefully, we come back into the range, and hopefully, we get a little volatility coming in the afternoon. So, yeah, just be prepared. Give me about an hour and a half, 2 hours maybe, and we'll be back and we'll get something done here. So, yeah, thanks for being on here this morning. I know we didn't get a trade in, but hey, it is what it is. We'll see if this tight range opens it up as we go into the Jackson Hole this week and we get a little volatility and make a little money. Anyway, thanks for being on here. I'll be back tomorrow on the Patreon, and then I'll jump back on this little later on this afternoon as well. So be ready, and we'll make some money. So thanks for being here. I appreciate it. Like and subscribe to the channel if you are new to YouTube. Come over and join the Discord. A lot of great information, man. The Patreon room is where we talk about it, where I hang out normal of the day. And then if not, there's a lot of cool people you can learn from and talk and educate themselves instead of YOLOing. So appreciate it. Yeah, I'll see y'all later.